Tracy, you got the comment of the night. I quit. Yeah, I was just saying that I'm so tired already. Like I'm trying not to be up that late. The live was originally set for like 9:40, but I moved it up early because we gotta do what we gotta do, y'all. So what's up, y'all? Hey everybody, good evening. I hope you guys had a good weekend and weekend festivities. Hello to everyone in the chat. Now, if you guys see from the title of the video or the live, this is going to be a very heavy topic. So I just want to reiterate one more time this trigger warning. This content is, like I said, is very heavy. So at any moment you feel like you need to step away, please do that. I'm personally not going to play any graphic things because y'all know how YouTube's been doing my channel. But just in general, this topic is hard. I will say, yeah, CC, please make sure everybody thumbs up the live. I haven't been having my little meter on, so I figured out how to turn that back on. It's on, so I can see if y'all don't like this live. Anyway, hey AK, hey everyone, hey Miss Ray, hey Brittany, hey Yolanda, CC, Tracy, Sydney, Angela, the plainest Jane. Hello everybody for coming in. So I was just, going over some house rules, Letitia. But like I was saying, talking about child anything is very, very sensitive to me. I have a very soft spot when it comes to children. That does not just mean my children, that's all children. So whenever I hear these type of stories, I literally just cringe. I get overly invested, my heart breaks, and I want justice immediately. So this story, yeah, it is really horrible, AK. So we're gonna talk about it. Y'all don't mind my hair. I'm trying to rebrand my channel, so I know I need to be on camera. So natural it is, y'all. I know I look like I just stuck my finger in a socket, but 4-day-old curls will do. They fine to me. So anyway, I am bringing to you guys the story. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's been going around for about a week now. It has hit all mainstream media of the news. So what I did was I gathered all the information and I'm wrapping it up in a bow and I'm delivering it straight to you guys. So you guys don't have to read the articles, hunt down all the stuff. I'm bringing it straight to you guys. So this story is straight out of Houston, Texas. It is about a 15-year-old boy and his two younger siblings, a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, who were recovered from an abandoned apartment. And in that apartment had the remains of their 8-year-old brother that was laying under a blanket, y'all. Now, this story was like, what? When I initially heard it, I was like, what you mean? Like, they was found in an apartment? His body was under a blanket. I really had so many questions because it's one of those things where this can't be real. Like, people really are not doing this in 2021 to their children, you guys. But it's true. Unfortunately, it is true. Now, I'm going to break down the timeline to you guys, and I'm going to give you guys all the details possible. So this started on October 24th. This actually shown on the screen is a notice of removal of children. This was issued on October 24th by the apartment complex that the children had been living in. Now, coincidentally, the same day, which is October 24th, the 15-year-old brother did make a call to the police station stating that him and his brothers were abandoned in an apartment, living alone. They had no food, and that their brother was in there with him, but he was not alive. When the police officers and detectives and crime scene investigators got there, everyone said that this is the worst case that they ever seen. When they walked into this apartment, the 8-year-old boy was bones, you guys. He had no remains. The apartment was completely empty. There was no furniture. It was full of pests, as far as mice, roaches, and flies. They didn't even have something as simple as a blanket. There was only one blanket, and it was covering their brother. Now, the brother that was found in the blanket was not the youngest brother. He was an 8-year-old, but there was a 7-year-old. The one right above him is a 10-year-old. When they found him and all the siblings, the 10-year-old had been beaten so badly, his jaw is dislocated, and they have to do reconstructive surgery on his jaw. Now, I know you guys are wondering, like, this still is not making sense. This is not something that, what? Where are the parents? Where are the parents? Well, these two are Brian Cutler and Gloria Williams. Brian Cutler is the boyfriend of Gloria Williams, and Gloria Williams is the mother of the 4 boys. Now, get this, guys. Not only is she the mother of 4 boys, but she's actually a mother of 6. She has 2 other children that was not in this apartment. Now, the 2 children that are not shown or not seen are one is a little girl. Well, both of them are daughters. One actually started living with her grandmother, as soon as she was born, you guys. This mother has already been in the CPS system. She is truly a nightmare. The other daughter, get this, you guys, was kicked out almost a year ago because she was having problems with Brian Cutler, which is the boyfriend. Now, these 2 look like weirdos, and it's true. They look like that, they act like that, and they are weirdos. Yeah, these cases tick me off. So these are the 2 monsters, Brian and Gloria, that actually deserted these 4 boys in this apartment. Now, like I told you guys, the little boy, the 8-year-old boy, was simply bones. That was the only thing remaining of him. So just imagine the smell and everything. I'm going to go into detail about the timeline of how everything happened. It is alleged that the little boy, who we know is known as Kendrick Lee, he is the 8-year-old boy. He was severely beaten to death, kicked and punched by Brian Cutler around the time of Thanksgiving last year. So he has been deceased for almost a year, you guys. It will be a year around November of this year. So you would think, like, what have they been doing this time? How have they not told anyone? How did no one suspect this? Well, Gloria Williams, actually their mother, she is a known runner. Like I said, she's already been in the system for CPS. She already doesn't have her children. This is one of those cases where she didn't have people that was actively attached to her because they already written her off. The family of the victims and the boys actually did not even know that this was their family until the news report came out with actual details. They had saw the initial news report and was like, oh my God, who would do that to their children? Not even knowing that it was actually their family, you guys. Now, this family did speak out about a little bit more in detail about Gloria, and what it would be. On the screen is actually her aunts and her cousin, and they actually went into detail. So Gloria's mom is actually an elderly woman. She lives in a nursing home. She's severely sick. So right there, you already know her mom's not in the home. Her mom is not with her. And the cousin went on to say how basically Gloria is known to disappear every few months. They ask about the kids, but they actually have not spoke to Gloria since June of this year. Now, it is alleged, and throughout the investigation, they strongly believe that Gloria and Brian actually moved out of this apartment, abandoning these children around May of this year. May of this year, you guys. So they were all in this apartment with the remains of Kendrick Lee. And then one day they up and left. Now, the family did go into detail about the children. They actually said that Kendrick Lee and 2 other boys, so we assume that is the 10-year-old and the 7-year-old, all 3 of them actually have autism. They are on the spectrum, and they actually, were very, very good boys. They, they were a joy to be around. Kendrick Lee was not verbal, so he was nonverbal, which you guys, if you guys know anything about autism, he's nonverbal. He really, autism is just a piece of is a puzzle. They really, you have to be patient with autism or autistic children. And The boyfriend, Brian, is suspected to be a known alcoholic, someone that is always inebriated, and he is someone that is very violent and mean. Hence why he went off on the deep end and, hurt Kendrick, as well as the 10-year-old boy who has a dislocated jaw to the point where he needs surgery. And you guys, y'all feel free to keep commenting in the chat. I'm gonna keep going so I don't lose my place, because it's a lot of information that I want to get out to you guys. Like I said, this is a very tough subject for me. I was invested. So I'm trying to lay this out for you guys as best as possible for you guys to follow. Now, like I said, it is suspected that Gloria and Brian moved out of this apartment May of this year. So I know you guys are wondering, like, okay, so if they moved out, how have these children been in this home all this time with no one? It is suspected and it is alleged that Gloria was actually still paying the rent to this apartment while she lived off with her boyfriend in romance. And we're going to get into detail about their timeline of what they've been doing this whole time. But it is suspected that she had been paying the rent with the disability checks for her children that are special needs, you guys, Kendrick being included. And you guys know, because of the pandemic, this woman has gotten several stimulus checks, and most likely the child dependent checks every month for her children. And she has not used a dime for her children. The neighbors in the apartment actually had no idea that these boys were even there. There was only one child that they saw all the time, and that was the 15-year-old boy. One neighbor said, and I quote, "I saw him sleeping on the steps one day, and I asked him if he was okay. He said, 'I am hungry.' So she went and got him some food. From then on out, they had a relationship where she would bring him food." Now, remember, there were two other alive children, a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, in this apartment as well. She had no idea. She said he would only crack the door so much to get the food or a charger. So we do know that the 15-year-old son did have a phone, but he did not call the police out of fear. I strongly believe, based off of the evidence of the eviction notice or the come get your children notice, that once he read that and saw that, he had to surrender. He knew to call the police and finally tell them what was going on, because they were going to be kicked out of that apartment. And like I said, the apartment was a disaster. There was no way that these boys could have been living there all this time. They were splitting meals for one person, the 15-year-old boy. The police said that when they seen the boys, they were severely malnourished. The 10-year-old cannot talk. He's also on the autism spectrum. The 7-year-old, he's delayed. These kids have not been to school since May of last year. Now, they got away with not being in school because you guys know the pandemic. You guys know. So this neglect, this child abuse, all of this was so bad, and it was swept under the rug. So like I said, this is all the news that has came out in just the past week. This has only been a story that has developed for 7 days, you guys. That's how bad it is. Now, one more thing that I forgot to mention, the neighbor did say that when he would crack the door, it smelled like straight garbage. It was terrible. She also said that she's seen his mother, in and out a few times. So she did not know what to think of the whole situation. So it wasn't like they never saw adults. They did see the mom a few times, and she did not know the extent of the home. As you guys know, there are a lot of people who just live by the code of minding your business, only helping in the way you know how, but not digging too deep. So that is the way that I feel like this happened. The neighbor was given the charger. She was given food for one person. But I believe that the 15-year-old son was probably so nervous to speak out and say anything, because they were in such an abusive and toxic relationship or situation, not even a relationship. So, like I said, the mom is a mother of 6. This is not something, she's not a new mom. They range from 7 to 17. That's how old her kids are. The 17-year-old daughter is the one that she kicked out. The daughter right under that, or the other daughter, was taken as soon as she was born to be with her father's mother, which is her grandmother. And then the 4 boys are the boys that she left for her boyfriend. She is a cold piece of work. So bear with me while I go over my notes just to make sure that I laid the foundation for what has been going on since the police have been made aware of what's happened inside that house of horrors or apartments of horrors. And this is exactly why you guys have to be careful with the people that you date and the people you surround yourself by, because she was dating someone, and I'm going to show you guys in a few moments. She was dating someone that's always inebriated, has no patience. And when we're dealing with the autism spectrum or just someone else's kids, a lot of people are so mean and cruel. We don't really know what took place, but the boy said that he was kicked and beat to death right in front of their eyes, you guys. Just imagine barely being able to eat, barely being able to sleep. They didn't even have a pillow. They only had one blanket, and it was to cover up Kendrick. And then to know that they saw their little brother or their brother be taken from them in front of them, and then their mom leaves. It's really, really sad. So like I said, they allegedly were paying for the rent with the government assistance check while she was living her best life out in these streets. So y'all want to know what they was doing? Y'all want to know what type of people these people are? Let me go ahead and show you guys. Let me show you a picture of Kendrick. This is Kendrick, the 8-year-old boy, and this is actually Gloria. Look how adorable this little boy is. So I did a lot of snooping on these people's pages, you guys, and let me just show you guys. Now, Brian Cutler, he is actually someone that is just a weirdo, in my opinion. Like, aside from what he does with children, he was a weirdo from the gate. Now, he has this obsession, as you guys see on the screen. His Instagram name is FOE Productions, and FOE means family over everything. So this man is someone that loves to talk about FOE. Look at that little nasty ass bump right there. But he is someone that loves to talk about family over everything. And if you guys peep the dates on these screenshots, this is all this year. So this is well after Kendrick had been gone and after he brutally took his life. And he's on Instagram talking about family over everything. I mean, literally every caption was family over everything. Every single caption. Now the mother, you guys, peep this. This year in April, she got a tattoo that reads warrior. Like, girl, what are you a warrior of? You are someone that left your 4 children, one who was gone, who was taken from you in front of your eyes, and you left your children to be some city girl with this nasty ass weirdo man. While he gets a tattoo that says FOE. Now, this tattoo was done last year, right before he actually brutally took Kendrick's life. Now, get this, you guys. This is Valentine's Day. This is Gloria's Instagram post from Valentine's Day. Do you guys see all this Zales jewelry? And she wrote the caption, "My husband bought this for me for Valentine's Day. I love him very much. Everything is real." So while her sons are in this apartment of horrors, no food, no blanket in February, they were still in the apartment, but it's suspected that Brian probably had his own place, or they were doing their own thing without the children. So while all this was going out, right before she moved out, this is what they were buying. This is what they were buying while her children was doing nothing. Now, her Instagram only had one picture of her boys, and you can barely see it, you guys. This is the one picture, and this was taken years ago. Now, get this, y'all. This really one was the kicker, August. So just last month, she's on Instagram looking for someone to do a micro link natural sew-in. Can you guys guess how expensive the micro link sew-ins are? They are expensive. Expensive. This is not a $100, $200 thing. Micro links are somewhere between $500 to $1,000. It's just really, really sad. It is really, really sad. So I want to go ahead and show you guys just how these people were just during the time that Kendrick's was already gone. Just so y'all can see. Now, in this video clip, it's gonna have sound, but I'm going to show you guys, and I want you guys to peep the refrigerator. This is February of this year, but peep the refrigerator. Mothers out there, anyone who has grew up in a home with children, you guys know what or a fridge for children should look like. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip, and you guys tell me your thoughts.
I gotta do some I gotta work out, man. It's cold weather need to come on, man. I gotta work out. I'm gonna have to do some sit-ups. I'm gonna have to do something. Y'all look, man.
You know what? Since we ain't...
Don't do that right now. And then look, nigga. I mean, I'm not talking about the refrigerator. I'm talking about nigga ain't gotta go.
Now, as you guys seen in that video clip, and I'm sorry, it couldn't be slowed down or anything, but as you guys could see, there's just an alcohol beverage. The way this man is on screen looking nasty as fuck. Okay, and I'm sorry for my language, but looking disgusting. Exactly. She left her children for this trash. Exactly. But if you guys peep the refrigerator, in my refrigerator, I have little juicy juices. I have a lot of food. That refrigerator was, in my opinion, very basic. So we know that it was only adults eating out of that refrigerator. There was nothing more to it. Now, I want to show you guys one more thing, or two more things. There was on his Instagram page, as we know, this February, we had that huge winter storm in Texas. And he basically posted like a video on his Instagram page. And what I thought was the weirdest thing was that there was no children. You could hear that there was no children. Like during that winter storm, you want to stay close to your children. You want to do everything. You usually when kids are in the house, no matter how old they are or how young they are, depending on the time and the day, there's no way that you don't hear children in your house. Like unless you're running the house with strict rules, like you better not breathe, which they could have, I don't know. But in all of their clips, they act like they were just two high schoolers living their best life and that Gloria just didn't have any children. Everything that I looked at from the meals, from the things that they posted, it did not read couple of children. Gloria's definitely didn't read that way, which I know Brian's wouldn't because he's a weirdo. But Gloria's didn't either. And if he's so closely connected to Gloria, how could you not hear the children? How could you not see the children? How could your life not reflect the children to a certain extent? That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah, it gets worse, you guys. It definitely gets worse. When we start to talk about present day, them being in court, just know they did the fool. Now, I forgot to mention, when the police actually went to the home October 24th, they actually questioned Brian and Gloria the same day. Can you guys believe that they let them go? They let Gloria and Brian go after they questioned them. To this day, I'm still confused as to what they were thinking. Why would y'all let them go? Either way it goes, these kids was found in a horrible apartment. That right there, Gloria, your ass should have been locked up, clink, clink. But she got to go home. Now, we'll talk about the arrest and what follows after I keep showing you guys the timeline and the shenanigans of what they've been doing on Beyonce's internet while they've been severely neglecting and mistreating children.
Out. Because we are in a snowstorm in motherfucking Houston, Texas, cuz. You know what I'm talking about? It's fucking 1:30 at the border, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm gonna need like...
We are in a snowstorm.
You can't take a shower in the dark?
What? I gotta get out of here.
Yes, you do. Because I can get naked. You don't want on Instagram.
Yeah, I do. You see them big ass titties. What's up? That shit look good. I said, that shit look good. Big ass titties. Big ass book. Nah, but for real, look. Oh shit. You know what? I forget. I'm finna do something real stupid. Cause I'm from Houston. I'm not used to it being cold out here. So like, I forget. It's like 30.
Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, like, why are you showing us these clips? It's because, like I said, the story gets worse. The way that they are doing this situation gets worse. So I want to lay out as much visible examples to show you guys, or to, before I tell you guys just how bad this gets. Now, as you guys see, I initially saw when I was playing that clip that I heard kids. No, that is Gloria. She sounds mentally ill and she sounds like she has a problem. That's not children. She was saying, turn on the light. I can't take a shower in the dark. Mind you, this is all while a whole ice storm was going on. No children, they taking showers. He's out there talking about she looks sexy, her breast, all that. And like I said, now granted, the kids could have been asleep or anything, but given what we know, I'm gonna blame them for everything. At this point, I'm blaming them for the snowstorm that happened in Texas because he's sick and Gloria is too. Now, I want to show you guys one more thing because this was recent. This was in August. I'm not going to play the audio, so it's just a silent video. But like I said, everything on their social media looks like they've just been running the streets, ripping and living their best life while these children have been living a nightmare. And like I said, beyond just Kendrick being on the autism spectrum, there were 2 other kids that are also on this spectrum. So just imagine how hard it was for this 15-year-old boy to care for his children. They did say, court records and investigators did say that the 2 boys, the 10-year-old and the 7-year-old, never left this apartment. They had not seen the outside, and we don't know how long. The only one that was allowed to leave was the 15-year-old boy, and I strongly believe it was for their safety because of them being on the spectrum. Any little thing could make them react. So he had to do what was best and make sure that they stayed put. So he went out there, he got the food. He, was the only one that was able to do what he needed to do, but still it was not enough. And he should not have had that burden at the age of 15. So this right here is another weird video clip. I'm just adding it as an honorable mention. They're in the car, but like I said, the caption, everything was family over everything, family over everything. And you can see, in just my opinion, that this is something straight off of Intervention. He looks like he's on something hardcore. They say it's alcohol. It could be drugs, but everything, his captions, everything, he was just living his best life. This was in August. They had no worries, you guys. They had no worries. The family had not talked to his family. Brian's family had not talked to him in years. They said, like, basically, when they issued their statement, they had no idea. They said that the family was in their thoughts and prayers, but that's not how they raised him. But they don't deal with him. And then Gloria's family, they said every request that they would reach out, she would just basically ignore. And she was just on her own. There was nothing that she needed to do, or that there was nothing that they could do. They didn't even know it was this bad. Every time they talked to her, she would say the kids was fine. And then that was as of June of this year, knowing damn well that Kendrick was gone already. His life was brutally taken for no reason. Now, I want to get they got matching tattoos. They call each other husband and wife. When Gloria actually she's a widow, you guys. She actually was married to another man. It's not the father of Kendrick and his other brothers or the 7-year-old one. Right before the 7-year-old boy was born, she actually was married to another man, and he actually was killed. So she doesn't have a good taste. Now, I'm going to bring you guys up to speed and tell you guys what's been taking place as of recent. So, like I told you guys, initially on October 24th, they questioned Gloria and Brian and let them go. It wasn't until they got the autopsy reports that showed signs of a homicide, and that Kendrick was basically murdered. So they issued a warrant, and they did actually go ahead and arrest Gloria and Brian. So they were actually arrested, and this is them, this is them going bye-bye. This is them going bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. They were arrested October 27th. So a few days after they were initially questioned. That's them. Peace out. Peace out. You gotta go. You gotta go. Now, to bring it up to date, Brian is currently in a psychiatric facility, you guys. He is basically pleading mentally unstable. On his hearing, on his bond hearing, you guys, it is alleged that let me get the exact wording, you guys, because you're gonna be like, what the hell, based off of what I showed you. So, like I said, Brian is being held in a psychiatric facility. When he went forth to the judge for his bond hearing, he was actually acting as if he did not understand anything that was going on. When the judge was speaking to him and actually read his charges, he acted like he did not know what any of it meant. Like he did not mentally understand what was going on. They said that he was in that courtroom acting like he could not read. He was acting very much so less than how he was acting on Beyonce's internet. So when they said the charges, he was like, what does that even mean? Knowing he knows what murder means. I mean, murder, you know what you did. What do you mean? And then when they actually told him to read like the notes or the paper and swear in, he's like, I. So basically he's currently residing in a like I said, a psychiatric facility. And Gloria, the mother, was actually questioned outside before her bond hearing or her bond charging hearing. And she basically said, and I quote, "Sorry, I didn't do it. I did not know. I visited them every 2 weeks." I'm going to read this for you guys one more time. When Gloria was questioned outside of her bond hearing, she said, and I quote, "Sorry, I did not know. No, sorry, I didn't do it. I did not know. I checked on them every 2 weeks." Now, Gloria's official charges is that she is being charged for, let me just make sure I got it right because they actually upgraded her charges. She is being charged with injury to a child and tampering with evidence. That basically she messed with Kendrick's body to basically hinder the case. So those are the 2 charges that she is being charged with. Now she actually had court today because Brian's bond is $1 million and Gloria's bond is $900,000. But the judge said today, and we don't really know what this means, that the bond is insufficient for Gloria and that they want her to come back either Thursday or Friday to have another bond hearing. So we don't know if her bond is going to be raised or her bond is going to be lowered. All they said was that it was insufficient. But it's really, really weird. This is Gloria in court when she was basically saying that she did not know. She didn't do it. It is really, really weird. This past Saturday, there was a vigil that was held for Kendrick. They did set up some things for him. They said kind words for him. They said that he was someone that had a healthy appetite. One of his students or one of his teachers was out there speaking and said that he was just a joy to be around, that, you know, he did not deserve this, nor did his brothers, and that they really want to get justice for Kendrick. They really want to get justice for him. Now, I want to go on to talk about the other children briefly. Now, I am omitting their names and their parents' names. I do know their names and I do know their father's names. I'm just not giving it because children should be protected and they have been through enough. Now, Kendrick, the 10-year-old, and the 15-year-old brother all have the same father. I actually have a picture of the father. This is their father right here, and this is with a photograph with his wife. Now, the father learned about the death of Kendrick and the state of his 2 sons, who are now in foster care, on the news, you guys, like everyone else. He found out on the news. He has not seen his children since 2017. Gloria cut off all communication with him because she wanted to get back with him after her husband died, and he told her that he was getting married to the woman in the photograph. So in the heat of the moment, she blocked and deleted him from everything, and he is allegedly saying that he has not spoke to them since 2017. So all photos that we have of Kendrick, like this one here, they're all old. They are all old. He actually is suspected to have passed away when he was just 7 years old, you guys. That's how sad it is. It's been almost a year since his life was taken. The father, Kendrick's father, actually saying that he wants his 2 other boys who are now in foster care, and that he's willing to do anything to get them back, and that, he just cannot believe that this is happening. Now, the youngest son, which is the 7-year-old boy, he has a different father. This is his father, and this is Gloria seen in this photograph. Now, his father is someone that has a rough past. He is in and out of jail. He just got out of jail a few months ago, and he also found out about his son's state on the news as well, and he is also petitioning to get his son. But of course, he's saying that it's going to be an uphill battle because essentially he's still trying to get his life together. So right now, the only things that we know is that Brian is trying to play insane. We know that Gloria is saying that she checked on her children every 2 weeks, and that should have been enough, apparently. And that she is due to have another court hearing this week because it's insufficient for her bond. We don't even know what that means. And that these children are in foster care. There is a lot of family that love them and that want them, including the family that I showed you guys on the screen right here, the aunts and the cousins. They actually said, and I forgot to mention this, that they wanted to adopt Kendrick when he was born. And Gloria actually said no. So this, again, like I said, this is Kendrick. We don't have a lot of photos of him, but this is the one, and this one stole my heart. He is just a precious little boy that was taken way too soon for no reason. And the only thing that I can think of in these type of situations, you guys, is the fact that it's like more and more reoccurring where we hear about these mothers who will basically do whatever for their love. They would abandon their children. They would rob, steal, or kill for the people that they love, the men, but never for their children. It's really, really sad. I feel like this story has been regurgitated a little too many times for my liking, and every time it gets worse and worse and worse. There's a special place for people like this, like Brian and Gloria, and I hope that the justice system gets them, but we don't know. We don't know. I'm hoping that Brian doesn't get any mental charges, but I need them to throw the book at him. I really do. I really do. So now that I got you guys up to date with the whole story, like I said, I'm going to go through the comments just to see if I missed anything, to answer any questions. I know Miss Bird of Life said that she has a lot of questions. If you guys still have questions after everything that I told you guys, comment them below while I get caught up in the comments. Yeah, the most impatient people have the most kids. Absolutely. But it's all for love. A lot of women equate sex, babies to love. It's only good when they got the man. When they don't have the man no more, they forget the children too. It's sick. It's very, very sad. No, they're not in a cult, AK, unfortunately. It's just another episode of For My Man. He only saw a drunk. He seemed like he on stuff. That's what I said as well, India. It really seems like he's on something more than a little drinky drink. So, Miss Bird of Life, you said a good point. You hope that they put the case out publicly. There was no microphones allowed in the courtroom, only cameras. The news stations in Houston, Texas have been covering this, but they all are not allowed in there, only their cameras. They cannot record video or audio. So hopefully they change it when it's time to actually go to trial. Yeah, everyone needs to catch hands for letting these kids fall through the crack, especially because Gloria had already had previous CPS cases. This is not her first go around. Those kids should have never been in that home. I truly don't understand how no landlords, no checks. Like, I've only lived in an apartment one time and only for 12 months. I can't do it. I don't like people living under me or over me, next to me, none of that. But I remember that they would come in and do like checks of the unit. So I don't understand how this apartment, and even the neighbors said this as well, how that apartment always was skipped over. It's a little weird. It's a lot of weird. Like, we don't know what that apartment was doing. The news stations, reporters have been contacting that apartment complex, and that apartment complex is refusing to give answers. But we all want to know how they missed this unit time and time again. That ice storm was scary for me as an adult. Imagine being a child alone in it. I really hope those kids get the life they deserve. I really do too. I really, really do too. Yep, I can't believe that they were walking around recording themselves as if one of their kids is not deceased and has been for months at this point. Yeah, this was just, it's Valentine's Day. I love him so much. How could you love someone who did this to your children and then you claim you didn't know and you checked on your kids every 2 weeks? I literally can't go 2 hours without checking on my kids. First of all, when they too quiet, I get a little too nervous. So it's really, really, it's sad. Yeah, he's slow, but he ain't too slow for court. Yeah, no, he's doing a whole act right now. This is when the that white privilege kick in. You know, them white people love to plead insanity when it comes down to stuff like this. Yeah, he knows how to play the system. Absolutely. You can't read. Even if, speaking hypothetically, even if you could not read enough, you knew what you was there for. Period. Period. You knew what you was there for. Like, both of them need to be guilty, maximum security life in prison. Yeah, absolutely. You didn't know you was missing a kid, Anisha. Like, it's really sad. Like, this is what you have to say. You didn't know. So she didn't notice one of her child was missing during her visits. His remains was skeletal. That takes time. It takes time, and you guys, the smell. Like, my husband, he asked me over and over. He was like, "Look to see if they've said anything about the smell." And the only thing that I got from the smell was that the neighbors said that it smelled like garbage. But decomposing body smells worse. If you guys look at any other of these court cases, because I'm all into this, you guys. But like, speaking of like Casey Anthony, the little girl that was in the trunk, they said the smell was so bad they smelled it miles away. So in this apartment, I don't understand how they didn't smell anything. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Anisha, I wish I had a rock as well. I really do. Another question, where was the daddy all this time? Okay, so hopefully I answered your questions about the father, India. But like I said, the 3 oldest fathers have not seen his children since 2017, and the 7-year-old son has a different father, and he has been in and out of prison, so he has not seen his son either. It's unacceptable for these fathers to not have made more of an effort to keep in contact with their kids. Exactly. And like, let's keep it real. Gloria is not a city girl. She is not someone that is popping. And I strongly believe she was going to get with anyone who loved her. And that is why she got Brian, the Billy Goat. Period, point blank. She was someone that was just as desperate, and he was going to take anybody that was going to look at him because his face looked like it was rotting. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Yeah, this is heartbreaking. This is really heartbreaking. This story, I was like, oh my God, just getting just the details that I have for you guys. And I'm going to go over the notes just to make sure that I have everything. But I know that I do. I think that I have everything. I tried to find information on the daughter that was kicked out, the 17-year-old, but all I know is that she was kicked out because of Brian and her. It could have been one of those weird stories that you hear about the mom not wanting her to take the man, or the air quotes around that. It's really, really sad. I hope they get to go to a really good family. I don't trust it. Yeah, and I feel the same way, Brittany. With the fathers and the family, with all of them stepping up. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. In a lot of these high-profile cases, a lot of people like myself, Brittany has reached out to me about this case as well. So shout out to her. She's the one who actually gave me the social media for Gloria and Brian. But there are people that want to make sure that these kids get a good life. They will start GoFundMe's. They will give money. So I really want them to be adopted by a beautiful family that will really help them. I'm just not confident in saying that the family that they have now is the best option for them. But being 3 Black boys, being special needs, and being in this system is really, really hard. They have the odds against them. A lot of people do not want Black children, especially Black boys. So I pray that someone out there really gets them and saves them. And, there's no way that anyone can take away what they've been through, especially that 15-year-old boy. It's really, this subject really just, it gets to me every single time. But I just hope, like, that is my prayer, that somebody really gets these kids. I'm guessing the building was trifling because those pests had to be traveling around. That's what I said as well. I think it was, now the videos of the apartment complex, it looks like a really nice apartment complex. It looks like it wasn't dirty. So I didn't understand that either. But Texas does have a way of hiding behind, you know, glitter with shit with glitter on it, to, you know, put it honestly. Miss Berta Life said, my heart hurts for the remaining kids and what they went through mentally, being by themselves day and night without even a blanket. You guys, like, without even a blanket. This reminds me of the lady in Baltimore riding around with the kids in the trunk. Yep, that was her own. Those are her own nieces in those trunk. Yep. Yes, the smell is unforgettable. That's what they said. So I don't know how this boy had been there for 11 months, down to bones, like the thought. The absent dads are a common thread in these stories, and they act so concerned after the fact, aka Michael. Yes. There's so many stories. I want to do one out here in Kansas City. There was a little girl named Precious Doe, you guys. This was like one of the hardest stories I've ever heard in my life, because this is a story that I actually grew up on. Now, maybe we'll do a video about it. I've been thinking about it, but Precious Doe was a little girl who was found decapitated in the woods. Yeah, I lived right by those woods, and no one knew who she was. She didn't have a name. No one knew. So they named her Precious Doe. They did they did this thing where they reconfigured her face, or thought of what her face would look like. So many people wore shirts. Mind you, I was a little girl, you guys. I was probably like 6 or 7. I was in elementary school. Because this little girl was found like this, only her head. They didn't want the children. They didn't want children out. So me and my siblings, we couldn't be out. School wasn't the same. So many people, it took years. Like I said, I was 6 or 7 when this story dropped. Year after year after year, we kept talking about Precious Doe, Precious Doe, Precious Doe. Precious Doe was all of our cousins, you guys. That's how bad it was. It wasn't until I got into high school they found out that this little girl's name was Erica Green, and that the mother's boyfriend cut off her head, disposed of her body because she would not stop crying, and for 10 plus years they played like nothing was wrong. It was one of the coldest stories, like I said, because my whole city. I wish Martisha was in here, because she's one of the subbies and she lives out here. There was no way you did not know about Precious Doe. I believe we say Precious Doe more than we say Erica Green. But that little girl has always lived in all of our hearts, because it was like the most horrific story we have ever heard. And to find out it was all over a boyfriend and a mother. Again, it's always a boyfriend and a mom. Yeah, I think I am, India. I am really changing my content. And this is why I'm trying to do more of this, because I really want to talk about things that are worth talking about and things that are of content. I do like giving my commentary on the YouTube streets and celebrities, but this is really things that I read and I watch and I look into, because I like to learn people. But yeah, you guys, the Precious Doe story was horrible. You guys can Google it. Google Precious Doe, DOE, Precious DOE, and Kansas City, and all the stories will come up. All the stories. But it was over 10 years. And she finally, and I believe the mom accidentally was telling the story to somebody, y'all, and that's how she got caught. I believe. I'm not too sure. I think I may have that wrong, because I've read too many stories, but I believe she was the one that was talking about it, and that's how she got caught. But I've been on here for almost an hour, you guys. I didn't want the video to be too long. I really wanted to talk about Kendrick Lee. And again, this is Kendrick Lee. And he deserves justice. I really, really hope that somebody gets these other boys, gets the other family together, and that this little nasty man in the back, Brian, gets what he deserves, and Gloria gets what she deserves. The blonde hair is hideous, sis. You need a purple conditioner to really fix your shit. But too bad, because you're in prison, ma'am. You're in prison. But wow, I remember the story, but I never knew that someone got caught. Slightly shady. Oh, you knew the story about Precious stuff? Yeah, they got caught. The mom and the boyfriend got caught. I'll come back if y'all want me to. I'll talk about Precious though, because like I said, that one was sad. It was sad. It was sad. But like I said, you guys, I really enjoyed doing this live with you guys. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I know it's late. I'm in Central Standard Time, so it's only 10:12. But I'm gonna let you guys go on your night. Kiss your babies, love your babies, be thankful for the life, and be thankful for a clear and pure heart and mind, you guys, because I feel like the world is coming to an end. It is a lot of shit out there, and it's a lot of shitty people. So without further ado, if you guys are not subscribed, subscribe before you get up out of here. Like the video, and I will catch you guys for our next one.